they'll sit there and say, okay, you need to check your ID first before you get on campus. They got 4 or 5 extra guards. It's usually heightened for a certain period of time.
I was going to ask,
then
how long does this?
It is maybe 2 months, maybe, and
That's not good enough.
and then all of a sudden it gets a little bit lax because there's not many people.
Well, they only beef it up
because
because people are asking questions and looking, and then
Well, I
they
mean,
stop
yeah, but
when the
what-
people stop asking questions and looking, which you do when you try to save money for yourself or not for yourself, for other things that need to be allocated otherwise, like the shooting at Tuskegee. That's why I asked you about it, bro, because I wanted to know, since you're covering and stuff, like, what did you think about how Tuskegee handled the shooting? Because I'm sure, I mean, unless y'all don't get on social media, I'm sure you saw the students' reactions to the shooting. And the students weren't happy because they weren't happy with what the school did after the shoot. You can't stop somebody. If the campus is open, you can't stop somebody from coming on campus and getting into a shootout with somebody. So I didn't see the students blaming the school for the fact that the shooting had happened.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because I know a good amount of people that were there. And so happens that the victim, the young man that lost his life, his family is filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the university.
They are.
And I'm sure they're going to argue that they didn't have enough security and that the security wasn't equipped to handle a violent situation. But why were you here? And that'll be the school's answer question, because they didn't go to the school.
Why was who here exactly?
Not the shooter, not the victim.
Oh,
but,
absolutely.
Like, he didn't go to the school, so they're gonna wonder how he even was here and stuff like that. I agree that the school there should be things in place, especially afterwards. Like, they were saying that they had for the thousands of students that are on campus, there were like 20 to 40 counselors. And they weren't even really being allowed time off from school and stuff like that. So all of that, trying to keep everything routine and let's just get back to business as usual, that's weird to me.
Absolutely. But that's the thing, though, about certain things. My mom always told me prevention is the best medicine. So if you have certain circumstances and precautions around, it's going to make people second think, especially when you see 12 of the police, blue lights, you're going to think twice.
It's like having those little rape things in the parking garages, or when I got to West Georgia, a bunch of the, for girls, like walking through campus, because what happens when girls is walking through campus, some weird dude might just want to grab you and do something.
Absolutely.
So we're going to put these lights every 20 yards that you can press this red button and the cavalry come running. That kind of stuff ain't at HBCU. A lot of them.
No,
Let
that's
me
the
not
thing,
say.
though. At Florida A&M, we have a amount of them. However, though, because
a lot of money too.
But Tuskegee is a private institution, so they're supposed to, quote unquote, have all this type of funding. However, it not necessarily seems like it, especially since it's in an environment or a city where it's not a lot of things, or it's nothing
there's
there.
nothing there.
Tuskegee University, the only thing there.
Yeah, it's
in
rural,
a gas station.
It's right. It's very rural. There's not. If you go to Tuskegee or you're going to Tuskegee, you're only going for Tuskegee.
Right, and if you live there, you kicking it there.
But I would say even here in the AUC though, it's the same situation. Granted, we're in Atlanta. There's a lot, but in the West End area, right, there's not a lot over there. And we are surrounded by the Bluff. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing for you to walk across the street on Joseph E. Lowry or Abernathy and come over here to the AUC and start spraying it up, especially during homecoming when it's packed as Spellhouse homecoming is. Like, first
Thousands.
of all, as an alumni, I hate the security, just because they do a lot. But I understand that we need a little bit more. I don't know what, but we need to find some type of solution, because there's no reason why a person can't enjoy their homecoming experience, alumni or whatever, and we got to worry about outside issues. Because, again, it's never a alumni or a student who's getting into a problem that's pulling out the switches or the AKs or whatever it is. It's always some outside force that's coming in and bringing death to those who are trying to enjoy themselves. So
yeah, even like in Tallahassee, we had a situation where, I don't want to call them locals, but they are locals. They got into an argument within a Q party, and literally came down the street blasting, almost 20 rounds, man, hit 3 people. Thank God nobody passed, but there was definitely a circumstance where people had to lay low. There was more security. There was more police officers in the area, and just low ducked off, especially. And they started cutting parties short. So block parties, let's say the Alphas or the Kappas had something. 1:30, 2 o'clock, you hear them sirens.
Yeah.
Because it's this stigma that a lot of times when time gets a little later during the day, trouble
Things get a
starts.
little
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly.
So let us know what you think. 447261380. Tap in on the Odyssey app. Drop a comment. VIS Unfiltered Radio ATL. Let us know, what should these HBCUs do to protect their students and their alumni from all this violence? Is there something they can do, or is this a community issue we got to talk about? We'll be right back. It's Voice in the Streets Unfiltered.